Hi, Rishi here. As Prime Minister, I'm focused on delivering on your priorities. So I'll be on the road to join GB News for a special People's Forum on Monday the 12th of February, where I'll be taking questions from a live audience about the issues that really matter to you: the economy, immigration, the NHS. See you there.
All right, let's have a quick look at what's in the papers this morning with Fraser Myers and Candice Holdsworth. Good to see you both. Fraser, can we have a look at the Sunday Telegraph? All these issues that are coming to the fore about migrants converting to Christianity to get asylum.
Yeah, it's extraordinary. Now, judges are pointing the finger at the Church of England, saying that, you know, we don't believe that a lot of people who are claiming to be Christian are Christian. It's interesting, the Church is in complete denial. Archbishop Justin Welby has said there's nothing to see here. He seems to be the only person in the country that doesn't know there's something to see here. So what's essentially been happening is that people who are seeking asylum in the country pretend to convert to Christianity, or, you know, we believe that they pretend to. There's been a huge uptick in the number of cases. It was brought to attention by the case of the Abdul Azidi, the Clapham Alkali attacker, the chief suspect in that case, because he had converted to Christianity and that had enabled him to stay in the UK and be granted asylum. Essentially, the loophole that is being exploited here is that if you convert to Christianity, then it's assumed you might be persecuted if you were sent back to the Middle East.
So it's not that, actually, in all of this, it's not the Church's fault. Well, the Church is coming to fight. It's not the Church's fault. It's whoever's making these asylum decisions based on the fact that someone... Religion shouldn't play a part in this.
Yeah, but it does if you're trying to prove that you'd be persecuted if you were...
When you go back.
Sent back.
Yeah, but that's...
Yeah.
Well, I think...
didn't we hear yesterday about one migrant who he had a crucifix tattooed on his arm, so that there's no doubt if he went back to his home country, wherever it was, he would be very clearly a Christian, even if he might not be. It said so on his arm.
But what do? Do you have a more, stringent conversion process like some religions do, where you it's over a longer period of time to prove your commitment to the faith? I mean, what do they do? How do they change things? Because if someone comes, I suppose as a religious leader, you have to take their expression of faith seriously.
Oh, you do. But the argument should be, why have you come here in the first place?
Yeah.
Not that once you've got here, it's now not safe for me to go back.
Yes.
That's got to be the line.
And that's got to be amazingly distasteful that we're still in the business of converting people, almost on an industrial level.
Well, no, it's not like that.
Well,
there were...
I don't know, it's beginning to sound that way.
The Bibi Stockholm migrant barge has 300 people. 40 of them are currently in the process of converting to Christianity. And so it's not actually... And also the other thing, it's not just that, the Church obviously has every right to welcome whoever it pleases, but members of the clergy are also, at a lot of the Home Office hearings, they're making representations on behalf of these people, saying, no, they really are good Christians. And actually the Telegraph highlights a case of someone who'd basically had only one conversation with a priest in broken English, and yet the priest is vouching for this person as if they really know them and can,
Well, there needs to be more care.
I think, and there's a church document that dates from around 2017 around this, and it basically, it's a kind of church policy to say you should advocate on behalf of asylum seekers and things like that. I mean, obviously, we do want the Church to do good things for people who are seeking a better life in this country. We expect them to help them out, to integrate them into the community. But there's something slightly different, I think, about essentially playing a role in the legal process.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, look, I think there's a lot of truth behind that. Candice, can we change tack entirely? Because after all that, my brain is a fog. Do I need a psychic spring clean?
I absolutely love this story. So this is in the Sunday Times, the writer Laura Pullman. She had what is called a spiritual spring clean.
Right.
So she went to see a psychic who's apparently been personally recommended by Gwyneth Paltrow, the founder of Goop.
Who is the goddess of everything.
Yes. And she paid about $200, which I think is about £159, to have her personal vibrations read, her and her husband, remotely. I mean, it was over the phone.
Oh, right, so you read vibrations over the phone?
You can, apparently. You can.
Wow.
And so they had a long discussion about, all the usual things about sharing household chores and, you know, getting up with the baby at 6 a.m. And this lady said to them, well, you know, maybe you should just swap doing jobs, you know? I mean, you know, maybe you should get up more at 6 a.m. and that might shift your energies a little bit.
Yeah.
And she said, yeah, you know, it's possible that it did. So...
And so the writer does feel as though she's been psychically spring cleaned.
I mean, it was very tongue-in-cheek, the way she wrote the article. I think she thought, not sure about this. And I really do feel there's a lot of this at the moment. You know, there's been a huge uptick in interest in psychics, in the paranormal, in aliens. I mean, like, people are really starting to take this stuff quite seriously now.
There's nothing wrong with aliens. That's, you know, not linked psychics and aliens.
What, you're more keen on aliens than you are on psychic.
Well, when you look at
cleaning.
the size of the universe, I think probably aliens are out there somewhere.
Well, yes, there is a rational
They're always on the
argument
front
for that.
page of the Star. They are.
Abby Clancy's seen some.
Abby Clancy's saw 3 UFOs on the A3.
And
So
she
that's
says,
where you should go, if that's what you fancy.
and if you are doubting that she did, she says explicitly, "I'm not making this up. This is true."
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Excellent. Well, why can't she just see one like a normal?
But why were they on the A3? That's what I don't know. What's going on there?
I don't know if I'd really trust anything Gwyneth Paltrow says.
know.
She got to be honest.
She was fined several, like hundreds of thousands of dollars over these jade eggs. I don't know if you heard these. I don't know what the most delicate way of putting this is, but they're for women's sexual health. And gynecologists have recommended that you do not do what Gwyneth Paltrow says you should do with them.
Sounds like very good advice.
And yeah, she's made all these kinds of claims that, you know,
But she's made a fortune.
she's made a fortune out of it. Yeah.
Goop. It's not gloop, it's goop, isn't
Goop,
it?
yeah,
Goop.
yeah.
I mean,
It's just
an
woo.
utter fortune.
So I would say she is not the person to take advice from, whether it's recommending therapists or jade
Unless
eggs.
it's
Well, there we go.
advice.
We're out of time, thankfully. Here's the weather.